It finally happened. After 7 long months, Hannah got her visa. This is cause for some celebration, don't you think? Skål på er! Yes, it took 7 months, 7 long months, but now the waiting time is over. Last week my wife got an email and the email said, "Your application has been granted." Now she's just waiting for her ID card to arrive at the Swedish consulate in Shanghai. Then she will go to pick it up and then she can come here, which means we will celebrate Christmas together. It's amazing. I'm so happy and we're so happy. It's been such a long time, but now she's almost here and I'm gonna see her so very soon. I don't have the words, it's just amazing. Now I know there's probably quite a few people out there applying for Swedish residence permits to be with their partner, or maybe you have already applied and you're waiting for your case to be settled or to be handled. Either way, in this video I want to share my wife and I our experience of applying for a Swedish residence permit, and maybe it can help you out too. The video will be divided in chapters based on different key points that one will experience while applying for a Swedish residence permit to live with your partner or Sambo in Sweden. So if there's one part that you are specifically interested to know more about, you can click on the chapter. If not, you can also just watch all of it if you want to. So the first thing that happens is that you submit an application on Migrationsverket's website. My wife submitted her application on the 10th of March this year. When you fill out your application, make sure that you fill it out as thoroughly as possible. I've heard from some people that it's good to attach photos of you as a couple being together when you do your application. We did not submit photos in the application. What we did though was that we wrote a very detailed text about our relationship and the different events that have happened in our relationship so far. We wrote down things such as information about us, about how we met, about our family, about times when our families have met, about travels we've done together, things we've done or things we've been to, things we've seen, you know, like very detailed, to be honest. As much text that you could possibly write in the text form, I think we did. Gambe. So after you have submitted your application, your partner have to complete the application. In the case of Hannah and I, that would be me. So a few days after she completed her application, I got an email stating that I had to submit information to the application. So I did this, and I also wrote about our relationship, a sort of timeline about our relationship. It's good if your timelines match. They should match if you're a real couple. You also have to prove that you fulfill the maintenance requirement, or if you are the one applying, your partner has to prove that they fulfill the requirement. In the case of Hannah and I, she was applying, so I had to prove that I fulfilled the maintenance requirement. And what is this? Well, it's a requirement that states that you have to have an apartment or housing of a certain size, and you also need to have a specified amount of money left each month after you've paid fees such as rent and other utilities and such things. Currently, the required amount of money to have left each month is 8,520 Swedish crowns. I'm just gonna double check that I said the right thing. Yes, I did. So after supplying documentation that proves that you fulfill the maintenance requirement, you submit the application again. Or you submit your part of the application. Then came the toughest part. Waiting. A lot of waiting. And this is the worst thing, because Migrationsverket are terrible at providing updates for your case. You basically won't hear anything for months on end, until suddenly you get a case officer, but there's no way of knowing how long that will take. They do have a website where you can estimate the waiting time, but it's a very rough estimate, and it depends, it's different for everybody. You just have to wait. It's stupid, but it's the way it is. After many months of waiting, I contacted Migrationsverket via email. And here's another thing. They are also very bad at replying to emails. So if you contact them, don't expect a fast reply, because they won't give you one. But if you do contact them, make sure to include your case number in the email and also in the subject or the header of the email. I suppose that makes it much easier for them when they eventually get your email, which could take quite some time. In August, we got an email from Hannah's case officer stating that she has to book an interview at a Swedish embassy or consulate. And that was a very nice email to receive. When you get the email from Migrationsverket saying that you have to book an interview, you have to book the interview by yourself. And you can do so by contacting the Swedish embassy or consulate in your country. You can find their contact information on a website called Sweden Abroad. So Hannah booked an interview at the Swedish embassy in Beijing, but when she tried to book a flight to Beijing, she couldn't because of COVID. She could not travel to Beijing. So she then contacted the Swedish consulate in Shanghai, and they were all very helpful, and they transferred her interview to instead be held in Shanghai. And we were lucky because she got an interview the same month at the end of August, and that's quite unusual from what I've heard. Many have to wait for many months to have their interview. I guess we were lucky that the consulate in Shanghai were not very busy at the moment. What questions did they ask her? Well, that's a question that I've seen people ask when it comes to uppehållstillstånd in general, or residence permits and stuff. They asked her questions about her application, of course, but no, the questions were based on the application. So they asked questions about the timeline that we had written about our relationship, how we met, how long we've been together, where we have lived together. They asked her about my job, my occupation, what did her partner do. They also asked questions about our families, if they had met and where they lived and such things. To the interview, she also brought photos of us together and also of our families together. Since we did not send any photos in our initial application, we thought it'd be good if she brought them to the interview, and yeah, it was good, we think. Skål på er! So a few weeks after her interview, we got another email from her case officer stating that her partner, that would be me, would have to supply additional information. And in this email there was a link, and if you click the link you got the web page, and then you could upload the information there. And from me they requested to see my 3 latest salary specifications to make sure that I still fulfilled the maintenance requirements. Also at this time I was moving apartments, so they requested to see papers of this new apartment as well as the monthly fee, among other things. And then that's what we did. We uploaded this information to Migrationsverket, and then we waited again. Skål på er! After submitting this additional information, we did not hear back from Migrationsverket. So after a few weeks, we submitted our request to conclude the case. This is something you can do after 6 months, and you can only do it once, so use this wisely. But if you feel that your case should be completed, that you have all the information, that everything has been provided to your case officer, you have had your interview and those things, then you can request to conclude the case. So we did this, and then we emailed her case officer and said that, hey, we have uploaded a request to conclude the case, and we got a reply back saying that, okay, since you have a... I'm getting a bit drunk, so I'm gonna read this part from my computer because I keep forgetting what I'm supposed to say. We then got a reply, and the reply was the following. Since you have requested to conclude the case, you will either get a decision or we will need to investigate the case further. Either way, you will get some kind of answer before the 19th of October. This reply was rather vague, but it's understandable because the decision is not taken by the case officers. they have beslutsfattare, or decision makers who take a decision on a case. So the case officer handles the case, and then when they think the case is handled, they hand it over to a beslutsfattare who makes a decision. And then on the 18th of October at 4 p.m. in the afternoon, we got an email. And we were super nervous, but we opened the email and it said, "Your application has been granted." So that's our story of applying for a Swedish residence permit. I hope that this could help some of you out. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments and I will do my best to answer them. Thank you for watching. Hannah and I hope to see you soon. We have a lot of ideas for videos and it's going to be so much fun. We'll see you. Now I'm going to finish this bottle all by myself and have a nice evening. Yeah, okay, hej då.